Okay, this is exciting. We're back for episode number 9, the all Canadian edition of
Cheers to
Analysts
that.
After Work. Cheers to that. And with me are the amazing Paul Peltier and a new friend that we've interacted a lot sort of virtually. This is our first
Yeah.
time actually speaking, which is kind of cool. Emily Tom, welcome to Analysts After Work. How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks a lot.
Doing
Excellent.
great.
Good to be
Thank
here.
you
Cool.
for doing this.
Hey, I'm just trying to be social. Like, to me, introverts are going to rule the world from now on. Like, I can just talk to people, but I don't have to like actually have them around me.
This
It's
quarantine
fantastic.
thing kind of rocks, doesn't
It's
it?
kind
Yeah.
of this is working. Um, so first question, and Emily, you were the last one to the party, so I'm gonna ask you first. What are you drinking tonight?
Oh,
I'm actually
Well,
having home-brewed sweet tea
oh,
in honor of one of your previous episodes,
oh, the sweet tea story.
your
Yes,
sweet tea story.
yeah.
I can't drink alcohol really just because I got the Asian flush thing. So
right.
Okay, I
curses.
want I want to come back to that in a second because I have no
No, you
idea
See,
what
don't.
that is.
I needed to give you something to talk about.
Yeah, no, we're gonna come back to that. But
Okay.
Paul, I stopped you mid sip. So Paul, what are you rocking tonight?
I'm rocking red wine.
Of what varietal are
It is
you?
a very robust Cab Sauv.
Oh, I've been getting into the Cab Sauv lately. I've always been a Merlot guy, but the Cabs they can bring it,
Yeah, I'm
especially when they like punch
quite
you in the
happy with
face.
this.
Yeah, it's
Cheers to
fantastic.
anyone out there. Glad
Cheers.
to have you here.
Cheers. And
Cheers.
I'm bringing back some Spanish brandy that I got
Ooh,
from my father-in-law. This is like pretty legit stuff. So
yay.
yeah. So okay, all right. First questions out of the way. Emily, please explain
You
for
haven't
the
heard the
for
Asian
the
flush thing?
for the Wilos who don't
Oh,
know,
Okay.
please, please.
It's there's a certain proportion of Asians who don't have the enzymes that digest alcohol. So I take 2 sips and I turn really red. I get awful headaches. So yeah,
I had no
I'm a
idea.
cheap drunk.
That is fascinating. I didn't
So
realize that was a
I'll
thing
cook with booze, but I can't really drink it.
because it burns off the alcohol and stuff.
Hmm
I just thought
Mm.
it like I immediately went to when you drink you turn red, but not because of a that is a fascinating. It doesn't have you know what? I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
up.
you should.
That
It is
is
a
that
thing.
is a that is a fascinating thing. Oh my gosh. All right, we're off to a rip rockin' start. So, all Canadian edition, exciting times. Paul, where are you checking in from?
I'm in Vancouver in
Mhm.
my little office because, of course, it's Vancouver. And yeah, this is where I live, work, eat, play, drink now.
Right. Awesome. And you, Emily?
I'm in Ottawa, down the road from you, I guess.
Up the
Kinda.
down. Yeah. You know, so those are, and not to alienate everybody else in Canada, but those are two of my favorite places. And this is not sucking up or anything. Those are two of my favorite places um, in Canada that if I had to leave sort of the Toronto area, Paul, all due respect, Ottawa's number one. Uh, but
I spent years there,
Vancouver,
so I know.
Vancouver is amazing. Like I just
Mhm.
so
There's some really cool places to visit, to live in Canada.
yeah. Well, and every time I'm there, it's usually a work thing. So I
Mm.
stay at the. This is going to be. You know, it's fine. I stay at the Metcalf just down from Parliament, and I always look forward to, and it's the most random thing, but I have to go to Gabriel Pizza across the street because it's so good. Like it's not good, but it's so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh
there
yeah,
must be something in it.
There's something in it.
yeah.
It's like I don't want to like this pizza, but it's like I look forward to going to Ottawa for work
That's funny.
because I can get Gabriel Pizza. Like
Whatever it takes. We all have
whatever.
our things when we go to different cities. I have one or two things in virtually every city. I
Okay.
spend, oh God. I average 60 trips a year to Ottawa for about 5 years.
Wow.
So I spent literally months of my life in Ottawa at the Ottawa Marriott.
Mhm.
And I had a few places that I would go to religiously the same. There was an Indian place that was epic, and I would go there every single time I was there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like it's as much as there are regional differences. Like it's fun to have those little like. I look forward to
Yeah.
going. Like I look forward to going to White Spot of all places
Oh.
when I go to Vancouver. Like again, it's not good, but
No,
it's like but
but
you
it's
can
fun.
only get it there.
You need an
I was
O
like,
burger. Anyone in this part
Need a
of the
burger
world,
place?
that's what
Okay.
you want, an
there you
O
go.
burger.
There you go. So how Paul, we'll stick with you. How are you handling this this new transitional normal?
You know, I have to be honest. I think I have a different perspective because of two things. First, as a pretty serious cancer survivor, I have a very different lens on what's stressful, what matters, and kind of
Mm,
what we can just kind of go, yeah, it's just a pain. And then because I've spent a lot of time and still run a business in Tanzania, I have such a different perspective on gratitude. And I'll be honest,
mm,
this is a pain for all of us. And
mhm,
the fact I appreciate lots of us have lost jobs. I lost all my speaking engagements. We've all lost something.
mhm,
But when you think about how lucky we are in this country with all of the healthcare, the leaders, the compliant citizens, like the following medical advice, like actually following it, and I just focus on how lucky I feel and
yeah,
that we're going to get through this. It's going to be different, but change is kind of just life. And this is just a really ugly, profound global change, which is
mhm,
really unique,
mhm.
but it's change.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I don't I suspected when first things broke out that we were going to handle it much better than, and I think I've said this in a previous episode. We were going to handle it much better than say our neighbors to the south because it's one of those things that I think we sacrifice for the greater good by and large.
Mm,
Maybe I'm
yeah.
generalizing, but I think we sacrifice a bit of our liberty for things like that you mentioned, healthcare, security. Like we have those things, and to me, it doesn't feel like it feels like I'm winning in that trade. So
Right.
I'm with
We
you. Like what?
are.
And also, what's the alternative? Like you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
whine and moan and just like no, I don't want to do that. And then what? And then contract the virus and you know
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like
bitching doesn't solve this problem. You have to, like, and as
no.
PMs
Yeah.
or and BAs, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We better live, breathe, and eat agile.
Yeah.
And if we don't live, breathe, and eat that kind of philosophy, then we're kind of hypocrites because we preach it every time we get anywhere about why in our world it's critical to be innovative and adapting
Mhm.
and
Mm,
change
Yeah. Change
tolerant.
happens. It's just
Yeah.
that it's not fun
So
when it's forced on you.
yeah.
It's
Well,
good if
and
you were changing like out of your own will, but
mhm,
the
no.
way I look at this, and I know this sounds weird, I look at this as the giant sponsor in the sky that we don't always enjoy has just radically changed this massive thing called project called life.
mhm,
And I'm just looking at like, okay, sponsor, you win as always. How do we accommodate your new shift in the way that we need to still function and be innovative and be successful and be agile in this crazy new dynamic? And honestly, it's not fun, but I'm actually seeing fun happen anyway
Yeah.
and
mhm,
making it
There's
fun. And
mhm,
look what you're doing. This is a perfect example. When else could
mm.
we be looking like we look, wearing a banana shirt, wearing a tiger shirt, drinking, drinking, and
Mhm.
saying, you know what, this is business.
yeah.
We're like,
We
this
keep
is
That's
moving
cool.
on, right?
that's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
And the thing about this pandemic is it's also shed light on some of the disadvantaged people.
Mm, mm,
Like it sheds light on the seniors, the long-term care centers,
Mm,
and the homeless. Like now we're paying attention to these people because
yeah.
they can't isolate, they can't do the hand cleaning, things
yeah.
like that.
And
Yeah.
they matter because
exactly.
if it gets there,
Mhm.
it just goes bzzz.
Yeah.
But
So
it's it's good that they've gotten the attention finally.
Yeah. But
agreed.
I mean, that's like it is a good thing that we've got a spotlight on them. What I'm afraid of, and I noticed this like very small but and subtle sort of tweak in language. At first, all of the people that worked in seniors' homes and teachers and food service, and they were called essential workers. And now the language has just twisted to be frontline workers, because I think that word essential is empowering, and I think the broader sort of business was afraid of empowering these people who previously were at they were the supporting structure of society. And so, man, we're getting way more political than we have in any this is what you get when it's like all Canadians who like, we like to have fun, and we like to have fun,
We're critical
but
thinkers.
we're critical thinkers, and we're also, sort of global thinkers, and we think about the outside of us. So
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, cool.
But all in all, I think we're a testament to that we are adaptable, that we can, and we're resilient. We are resilient, and we owe it to all of our colleagues wherever they are
Mm,
to just live it and lead it, and hopefully we'll get other people who we can bring along on this ride and
right,
support, because that's for sure one of the things I think we have to do as leaders in this profession is support those who are really challenged.
right. Well, and we were talking about it a bit before we came online, Paul, about how there really, like, there wasn't a choice. Like, you had to make that. Like, I know that my organization went from we can never work remote to we are a 100% remote organization in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Because what was like, what was the
Mhm.
alternative? Was, like, if you're a bank, you're going to lose customers. You probably will survive it, but you're going to lose a lot of business. But if you're a small organization, like, Paul, you and I both speak. You're much more prolific and
Yeah,
professional at it than I am. You are,
we're all in the
but
same room.
I know, but I'm sure you've had to do things to adapt that aspect
Oh,
as well,
radically.
right? Like, I've been
Radically.
putting everything online. Like, I've now have an online academy where you can learn from me through video on demand, and like,
Yeah,
that's it, because all of
Mhm.
my speaking stuff went away too, right?
totally. And
Yeah.
again, I'm trying to see this as, in some respects, an opportunity. So I think if we all kind of step back and go, okay, what can I learn now? Because I
Hmm.
got a
Yeah.
different, I don't have all this sort of chatter going on in my life.
Yeah.
I don't have all these social things. I don't go to sports events. I don't go to the bar. I don't have dinner with, family and friends. So I'm trying to look at it as, what are some of the things I've really wanted to learn or do or put out there?
Mm.
And, I have to be honest, I'm not always as focused as I wished I was, but like, I'm slowly focusing on, yes, shifting to online everything, but also putting out some stuff that I've wanted to for a long time. So I'm writing a
Hmm.
script now for the first ever master class in workplace bullying.
Oh,
Who
cool.
knew? You know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's opportunity. You're
Is
still
that
doing
through
value,
Masterclass,
right?
Pardon
or
me.
is that through like Masterclass, or
Well, no,
you're
what I'm doing for the most part right now, because you need a formal studio and all that stuff if you're going to go into that world in a big way. But I'm writing the script and starting to just get it out in terms of me being prepared for when when I can actually move forward with it.
Hmm.
And I don't think I'll be doing like the big master class. You have to be a celebrity or someone super important, and I'm nothing close to
That's not
either of those.
us. That is not
No,
a all due
no, but you know
respect,
what?
not us.
It's still never been done before,
Right.
and so why not?
That's awesome. That's
That's just
awesome.
one example. And I think everyone's doing this. It's not,
Yeah.
I'm not special at all.
Hmm.
But I think it's hard to Like I'm encouraging people to just learn anyway, whatever it is that you
Yeah, and
need
have
to
fun
learn.
learning, right?
Yeah,
It's almost like Darwinism. We're all kind of evolving into new
big
things.
time.
Can you imagine,
I'm
like
gonna have a
generations from now, like
you know,
3, 4 generations, they're going to be
yeah.
looking at 2020 just like we looked at the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
People are going to be thinking, how did the people survive then? What did they do?
Right.
How did they behave?
With only 4G. How did they? It's, you know what, and I don't know where I said it. It might have been on this, or it might have been on my podcast or somewhere else. But I said, like if you don't come out of this with a new skill, even if it's like I learned to cook, you've missed an opportunity. You've missed it.
I couldn't
Like,
agree more.
yeah.
Couldn't agree more. So Emily, what's your new skill?
What's my new
Yes, because
skill?
we've dominated there.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna
I
pivot
think
to
I
her.
figured out the sourdough thing.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Good
think I
for
did.
you.
Finicky little bugger. I've named him Sour Joe.
And this concludes episode 9
Yes,
of
exactly.
Analysts After Work.
Yeah. Sour Joe and Asian flush.
Yeah.
It sounds like poker.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, we
an
got him on
Asian
the
flush.
Sour Joe.
Yeah.
I've got an Asian flush. What have you got? Sour Joe.
Okay, before we define what constitutes an Asian flush in poker, Emily, please continue with your story of sourdoughiness.
Oh, I've always wanted to try it, but I had a bit of a gap between 2 contracts. So I said, hey, I've got time. Let's try this out. Did a lot of research on the web, figured it out, tweaked it. So I think it's doing okay.
Okay. So when is Emily's sourdough hitting the market?
I have no idea. You want to create an online store for me?
Yeah, give me 10 minutes.
That could be a skill.
Okay.
Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's so that's been mine is turning my delivered live course content, because speaking I think is a little bit different, but delivering like a workshop or a training turning it into a virtual, it's not a like for like
Oh
thing.
God, no.
And so, that's the thing that I've been figuring out with some modicum of success. But like people actually, I put out a course. I did a webinar yesterday for the IIBA, and people actually bought it. And I'm like, this is tremendous.
That's
and the course
awesome.
the course isn't even done yet. I have to record the content. It's storyboarded out and done, but I just need to actually make it. But it's like people are already signing up for it. And it did take a shift in thinking where it's just, I can't just say, I'm going to take that module and then just record slides and say, yep, done. Like
No.
it took a lot of thinking, but that's the thing that I think if I can turn that into a stream of my business, then it makes everything else easier. But nothing will replace going out and actually having an audience and speaking to people. And that's been sort of, Paul, you probably have seen it with a lot of the CAP stuff, where it's like, no, virtual is the new way. Nothing will replace in-person conferences. They will be back.
Eventually, yeah.
They will be back.
Think so.
And there's value.
I mean,
yeah.
Right.
I've already booked one, which
cool.
I was delighted to in the end of February 2021. So
very cool.
Maybe that's a little ambitious, but maybe it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Emily, it's in Ottawa.
Hey,
cool.
So you let me know when we'll all go by Emily's for sourdough.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I want to believe that it's going to just be a lot different, and I think, Vince, you're doing the right thing. But this, for all BAs and PMs, the message is be agile, adapt, figure out how you're going to be a success.
Small a, agile.
Yeah. And learn as you go along, right?
When I mean be resilient and be agile as in flexible. And figure out, okay, how are you going to do your job and be a rock star anyway.
Mhm.
And that's really for all of us to figure out. And what's your niche? What's your talent? Why can you make this really work? And
Mhm.
it is harder to get people's attention. It is harder
Mhm.
to keep people focused, but figure out a way to do that.
Mhm. Well, and that's my nefarious plan with this show, is to just, dominate the airwaves of of analysts of business analysis and project management, and
Yeah,
get just but it's attention, right? I'm trying to facilitate discussion, and that to me is valuable. Like, this will never, I mean, I don't think this will ever turn into my own show.
you don't know.
I don't, but I don't care. Like, I'm doing it because it's fun. I do my podcast because it's fun. Like, I work because I have to go to work. And it's ironic that, I think, Emily, earlier you talked about fun and work and courses, because I have another one that I'm putting together with Jamie Champagne, who I think you guys know,
Absolutely.
which we're calling the Fun at Work Masterclass. And
Awesome.
so that one is dropping next week. Um and to us, it was like, we've been talking about it for about a year, and it's been fun just putting it together. So I almost don't want that to end, but I know that it has to, so that we can start delivering the course and benefiting
Yeah.
other people, because it's about just adding value to other people, not to us. I mean,
But
we benefit.
it's cool to have fun along the way,
Exactly.
because you'll do it again, right? Or you
Yeah. Well, and we've been
show it can be
recording
done.
all of our conversations, so that we have like a blooper reel of, like, look at how much fun we had putting
Oh, that's
together
I
this.
can just
great.
imagine the two of you.
Like, it's we and then every once in a while, like, one of my kids will pop in and, like, who are you talking to? And it's just, it's been really cool. And so, that to me, I went through a period where I was not collaborating with anybody, because I felt I needed to do it on my own. Um, and now I'm starting to switch back to picking and choosing my collaborations, and just, where am I going to have fun? It's the reason why I wanted to do that with Jamie. It's the reason why I work with Bob and Paul and Jen Batten and Hans in the Uncommon League. Like, that, just, it's fun, that I would do it even if I wasn't getting a benefit out of it.
Well, and that's the whole point. And
Exactly.
that may be the underlying core message to anyone who's listening. Find ways, despite this really pain in the ass situation, to have fun or to
Yeah,
grow, learn, do
teach.
something different. Make
Mhm.
sour Joe.
Make
Yeah,
Sour Joe. Like,
there we
I
go.
think I think I need to put, and I have my mouse here, but, like, right in this corner to the right of Emily, there needs to be, like, a little sour. I'm gonna see if I can draw a little Sour Joe and bring him onto the screen, just like a face.
Yeah,
Like, that's awesome. Well, it sounds um like things are going positively. Outside of
yeah.
Sour Joe, Emily, how are you doing with this situation?
I'm doing okay. I just started a new contract with a federal crown corporation
Cool.
2 weeks
Congrats.
ago, so I'm just learning
Congrats.
like crazy. My head is just my brain's tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's good. I find what's cool is I'm working on with two teams, so I'm shifting from one team to the other. But I'm finding that this organization is super productive, and they're still getting a lot of stuff done remotely.
Mm,
So these are
Yay.
some great celebrations to have.
that's awesome. I was in Ottawa 2 years ago. There was the Lean in Government conference, and I I was the only person there, that I came across, at least, that was not from the federal government, and I was so encouraged by all of the people that were there to learn how to be more lean, how to add more value. It was such a it was such an encouraging thing, and it made me upset, that we weren't doing more, because at the time that was not a thing that was being practiced at the provincial level. Now there is a provincial, lean office, lean management office or something. But at the time, like we could have been leaders in the province, and we were squandering that opportunity. So it's really cool that, and just to hear about a lot, other than people complaining about the Phoenix payment system, people
Yeah.
were pretty happy with working for the government, with the feds,
I
federals.
think it's I think the culture has changed in the past couple of years.
Awesome.
It's, less about, the 9 to 5 job. It's more innovation. It's more people catching on to the
Cheers to
trends.
that.
So
Cheers
it's
to
Mhm.
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah,
That's
even
awesome.
with this pandemic, what I've been catching the CBC daily updates, and just to
Yeah,
see the kind of unified messaging that comes from all across the country is really cool.
yeah. Well, and I watched CBC as well, the national. After this, I'll be watching the national. Um, but like, yeah, it is interesting, and the experience, I think, has been different from province to province. But it is again, I keep saying encouraging. We need to make this like a drinking game, um, to see how there has been that consistent response that I
Hmm.
don't think you're seeing from other countries, which is, you know, oh, Canada.
Exactly. Yeah. And what
Yeah.
I don't know, um, is what I've noticed in the organizations that I'm sort of working with, or and the one I work in, is sort of the same, that you really start to see who is cool with radical change and
Mm,
who isn't. And
mhm,
and it's not a judgment, but what I've noticed is that as leaders, because I think that's what we all are, I think what you need to do is embrace someone who isn't doing as well and bring them on as your brother and sister, to help them get through for what for them is really a really awful scenario. And
mhm,
I think the people that I have massive empathy for are the people that have really young kids, and they're trying to like be daycare people and work or educate young kids. And I just think, oh my God, that would be absolutely brutal.
uh-huh,
And when I get an email at midnight from a colleague, I'm like, oh yeah, you got a 4 and a 6-year-old. This is your work time. And I just
mhm,
can't imagine what that's like.
mhm. Well, let me tell you,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
it's after they announced in Ontario that school would not be resuming until September.
Hmm.
You noticed that my brandy was only half full. Um, it was no, I mean it's, and mine are very young. Only one is in school,
Oh
so
my.
like, it's not to say that kindergarten doesn't matter. It does. We've tried to help her along, and learning. She's learning to read, and all that stuff. Um, but I think, and this comes back to what I said earlier about is the essential versus frontline. Like, teachers are absolutely essential.
Oh
And
God, yes.
the next time they go to the bargaining table, they just need to say COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
And then just, I want to see this. Like,
yeah,
make it rain, because there should be no like, that's it. Yep, COVID. Yep, you're right. And then hand them a sack with a dollar bill on it.
yeah. It's brutal.
Like,
So, and I think all of the parents out there, are learning how hard it is to be a teacher.
yeah.
And I think I'm hoping that one of the things that'll come out of this, because I think there's a few master golden nuggets, like, A, how do we make sure that we run senior care in a completely different way so
Hmm.
that none of this ever happens again? B, how do we make sure that, we respect people like teachers in a way that maybe historically we haven't, and pay them appropriately,
Hmm.
and just respect them. in a way that we might have forgotten to. Because, boy, I see a lot of parents saying, oh my God, I had no idea what this was like. And now I adore her teacher because her teacher rocks.
Yeah. Well, and we did already, but I'm gonna add to that list, like anybody that works in anything having to do with food.
Oh God, yes.
Anything that has
Food,
to do with
healthcare, transportation,
healthcare, like I was
Yeah.
gonna say transportation, like
utilities.
Yeah.
you guys are angels. Like
Yeah.
The whole supply
there are no
chain,
words.
you don't see it, but
Yeah.
now we realize it's there. And
Yeah.
I find like you were saying, parents with little kids whose only spare time is at midnight. I think this is where we start to understand work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Yeah, my son's 15, so he's not all over the place, but
he's done.
he's
He's fine.
independent.
Yeah, he's fine. He doesn't
But
need me. He's
now
fine.
now we understand how people have to step away from the computer when it's time
Yeah.
to take care of their kids or take care of their parents who are in the long-term care center, right?
Yeah.
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 I've tried to. So my wife is home as well, and so she's actually been doing the majority of the actual teaching and that. But I try to at least for a half hour in the afternoon step away from my desk
Mm-hmm.
and just we take them out to the driveway and they scoot around like NASCAR. They just go they just scoot in a circle
That's cute.
and they have a great time doing it, and don't I felt bad about it at first because like I'm supposed to be working, but then I realized like, well, I'm at first, Paul.
Yeah.
But now it's like if I
Opposite.
was at work, I would have had at least 3 or 4 coffees today
Mm-hmm.
of a half hour each. And now I'm fretting because I'm taking them out for half an hour to scoot around and they just are thrilled. So I don't feel bad anymore. I did, but I don't anymore.
Oh, and maybe that's part of the lesson that we all have to learn is what does it look like? What does a work day at home look like?
Mm.
And how do we stay focused and to a certain extent disciplined, but also be kind to ourselves and realize, okay, no, now it's me time, or it's kids time, or it's sourdough cooking, like whatever it is.
Sourdough Joe time.
Yeah,
Sourdough.
we have to
Yeah.
understand that balance is integral to us being functional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since we don't know how long this is going to go on, right?
Well, I can tell you today, we were told in my organization that like going back to the quote office is unlikely for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So there might be exceptions, and yes, they'll figure out how to accommodate people, but generally the message was get your head wrapped around that this isn't changing for quite a long time.
And that puts things for me into perspective because BC, I think, has done a much better job of handling. I think Ontario's done a good job, but I think BC has done a better job of
We're
handling.
very lucky.
Yeah. You had an early start too.
You did have an early start, but like
that's just it. We learned from a lot of others' mistakes, and I have immense respect and gratitude to the people that are leading well, and for everyone who's been aligning with whatever rules or sort of guidelines have been put out. But we also got lucky. Like, there's a whole lot of random here, and a whole lot of science and a whole lot of applying methodology to it. Like, again, I keep going back to project management and BA 101 because it really is that. And it's boy, the diligence and the critical path from hell that this project represented was pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we all had to deal with it.
Global.
It was the stakeholder from hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I mean, I guess
it's sponsor. Yeah.
It's an equalizer, right? We're all in this together.
Absolutely.
Everyone's going to be stuck at home. So, you're not better than someone else. Like, so I think it is an equalizer, unfortunately.
Well,
Or maybe that's good. You know,
Yeah.
the one.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
the one thing I've noticed is there is not as much as my podcast co-host would say, a chit chat at the beginning of meetings. Like now that and it's true, like you go to a 30-minute meeting and you spend the first 15 minutes catching up on people's weekends. And it's not that that doesn't matter, but like we're here to do something. We're here to we're here to have a discussion and have a decision, not have a 15-minute discussion on what'd you do this weekend. And so that has been removed. So meetings are getting done faster, which means people are more productive. And if I really want to know what you did on the weekend, I will ask you. And I've been doing sort of virtual coffees with people a couple times a week. It's like we haven't talked in a month. Let's have a coffee. And the people that really scare me right now are those that are like, I can't wait to get back to the office. I miss the chit chat at the beginning of a meeting. I miss it. It's so much wasted time.
You know?
Everyone's different, right?
Oh,
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Introverts are going to rule the world. Introverts are going to rule the world now. It's great.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. Like,
although
finally.
One of my teams does have a daily scrum, 15 minutes, but prior to that 15 minutes, there is a 15-minute chit chat. So it's kind of nice for me because I don't know these folks, never met them in person. I did the job interview online.
Sure.
So getting to know these folks, but one of the comments from one of the discussions was there was a fellow on the team who does a lot of gardening, and he had his seedlings going, and he says, I can't wait to plant these outside because they're looking kind of root bound and they're starting to turn yellow and they're droopy. And I'm thinking, are you talking about your plants? Or you're talking about people?
Yeah.
Some of us are starting to get droopy and pale.
Could be
need
both.
to get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you make a valid point, and I concede on that point.
It's structured.
Yes, and so that's where I do have the benefit of knowing all the players, and having a fairly good relationship with most of them. So I don't have that learning curve to surmount, and so yes, our experiences are going to be different.
Yeah, of course, there are things we're going to miss or not miss, like the commute. Right?
Oh my god, my commute is an hour. It was an hour and a half each way.
Oh, God help you. Oh,
so I went from waking up at like 5 a.m. to leave for the train around 6:30, to get to work around 8, to I roll out of bed at 7. I go and have coffee, and I take a shower and all. It's still doing that stuff. Take a shower, go have breakfast with the girls, have a coffee, be at my computer at 8:30, and like I can't remember the last time I was not tired.
yeah.
Like I'm getting an extra 3 hours in my day back, and I'm like, my mind is firing on all cylinders because I'm not tired.
And how
it's tremendous.
Is that not phenomenal for your organization? How is that not
exactly
a massive aha?
Exactly.
Okay, this really works for a whole lot of people, and look how we benefit from it. And
yes,
I think that is fundamentally the opportunity for a lesson learned that many organizations really should pay attention to. And this whole concept of you have to be in the office because we need to be paternal and watch over you, and it doesn't work if you're not, is just, I think we've proven that that's not true at all.
Right.
And I think just the concept, just think environmentally, what this could also be. Like, I think of all the opportunities for advancement, and this could foundationally change the way people get to and from work, or how about not?
Or not, right.
Yeah.
Right. And it also means that if I get a meeting request for 5:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm not as anxious as
No.
I was in the past because I don't have to tack on. Like I finish the meeting and I go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to
So
rush to pick up the kids.
I don't have to rush. I don't have to rush to catch a train. And oh man, I missed the train. The next one's
Yeah.
in half an hour. Like I don't have
Totally.
that.
You're not
So
dealing with the crowds and showing up work grumpy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it could really be game changing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, if it's not, we screwed up.
Shame on us. Yeah.
Yes. If it doesn't change the way we think and do business, we screwed up. Like we need a new. You know what? I'm not going to say it. No, I'm going to
It'll
say
be
it.
interesting.
I don't mean it,
Office,
but like we need a new virus. Like we need a new one. Like
No,
a friendly
we-
one.
a friendly virus.
Office 2.0, I think, is gonna be put aside.
Yeah.
It'll,
All
it'll
those
be interesting
open,
to see how that all changes, right?
all the open
Yeah.
office concept,
Yeah, we're not all gonna be
those are gone.
close to each other, on top of each other, and
Hoteling gone.
Yeah.
no.
Not gonna help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they're gonna put arrows on the floor telling us which hallways to walk down. It's gonna be like IKEA.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
You're gonna be like,
god.
where the heck am I? I
Oh
want to
my
go there.
god.
I'm gonna work at home.
Oh my god. IKEA is the worst. I hate IKEA so much.
We all love to hate that place, don't we?
Yeah, but you know what they
But
do?
it
So
does something to you, right? Like it's
Mhm.
no, can I? So I've done some research into the IKEA effect, and I talk about this example when I do my workshop on customer journey mapping. Um, IKEA, everyone hates it, and yet we keep going back.
Absolutely.
They make you go through the little maze. Then you have to get the stuff yourself. Then you have to stand in line, and the whole time you're grumbly, grumbly, grumbly. It's not super cheap. It's cheaper, but it's not super cheap. But then they have ice cream at the end. It's
And-
like it's like the pellet at the end of
A
yeah.
hot dog for a buck.
Pavlov.
the hot dog for a buck. Like
Yeah.
it's the and so it's like, you know what? You leave there thinking that wasn't that bad. And then you get home and you have to assemble your stuff and now you're pissed off again. But then when you're done, it's like, okay, it looks okay. Yeah, okay. And they've become almost like a default. I need furniture. What's available at IKEA?
Mm,
But
so true.
yeah, Emily, I couldn't. I'm not a Snoopy individual, but I couldn't help but notice. Is that a Kanban board behind you?
It is.
Oh, fun.
Hasn't been
You're
updated in a while, but
you're like
yeah, I'm the nerd.
everyone has no. So I mean I'll show. There's my. No wait. There's my
Where are you
Kanban
going?
board right there
Okay.
over my shoulder.
Yeah, yeah.
I have another one over here for a specific project. I have another one right in front of me for another project. I have Kanban boards everywhere in my office because that's what we do. So
Yep.
why are you not doing your weekly Kanban updating? And for those that
I know.
are watching this or will watch this, I mean Kanban, but it's Kanban. So Kanban board.
Oh yeah, that's
so
my personal one.
that's okay.
The work one's on the computer, which is being updated.
Gotcha. And do you use a software for that, or you just like you have stickies on your screen?
Oh, you know, it's like team stuff like Jira or
Oh,
Trello.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I use for my personal one a Kanban Flow, which is just a free thing. It's pretty good. Check it out. I don't know, whatever. I am not endorsed or sponsoring Kanban Flow, but it's a pretty good one. I'm not a fan of Jira, but that's just a personal thing. But these are the things that I notice. I've got stickies everywhere.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of funny with all this online stuff. I feel like a voyeur seeing into everyone's house.
Well,
yeah, it's fine.
You can't see it, but I'm going to pull something out because you'll probably go, "What the hell is this?"
Oh,
so as you know, I'm a member of the Maasai tribe in Tanzania.
I did know that. Please,
this would be a neck thing that women would wear when they dance, and it goes up and down. So, and with it, I have my porcupine quill from Africa. So porcupines there are way bigger than porcupines in Canada.
That is
You
a
don't want to
big
mess
ass
with
quill.
one of them suckers. So yeah, so I don't have a Kanban or Kanban board, but I have a Maasai necklace that now I can't get off.
He's got
There we go.
souvenirs.
Now you have to do the rest. You have to do the last 15 minutes with a neck,
Yeah,
a Maasai neck thing.
yeah, exactly.
On your... That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like you do get to see a little bit of like how people, not how they live, but because
You know, what
whatever.
are the
But
cool
you
knickknacks
can
they have
see,
at home?
you can
and-
see like
yeah.
right over
Yeah.
here. I have schematics for the Millennium Falcon and an X-wing.
Of course you
Like,
do.
of course, right? And then I have my Six Sigma stuff and my business analysis masters and all that stuff. That's over there, but like the real stuff is this over here. Like, and you know how long it took me to learn to do it? There it
And
is.
much more important.
There's my Millennium Falcon. There's my X-wing. Like, but it's like it's you actually. To me, I think you start to get to know the real people.
Mhm.
You don't have to put
Yeah.
on that
Oh, so
facade.
true.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's not just us, but we see celebrities on TV and we see how they live at home. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which is what I think makes that John Krasinski web show that he's been doing that has slightly higher viewership than I do, but it's like some good news or something, SGN, and it's just in at a desk in his house that he's recording and just telling good news stories, which is I think what we all need now. But yeah, it's cool to just see even celebrities, they're just regular people that
Mhm.
happen to be on a TV show or in a movie. They're not special. They're not. We don't need
Not
to put
better
them
than
on a.
us.
You're not better than me, John Krasinski. You're not. You have cooler hair, but that's about it.
I
And
like your hair.
Thank you, Paul.
I think it's really fun.
Thanks.
I had my hair. I actually was able to get my hair sort of cut. I feel like I had an attack with a whippersnipper, but I looked like.
How are we only getting to this now? Then go.
I
please.
looked like a Brillo pad. I'm not kidding. I looked like this. You could scrub pots on my head, and so I kind of just had a weed whacker attack, and it's fine.
Do you also suffer from the curly head curse?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because that's what I've got going on here. Like this is pretty flat because it's been a long day, but like it froze out. I get the eye.
Oh, that's what I mean. Brillo pad. It's just it was awful. So
Stories of
got rid of
COVID
that.
cuts, huh?
COVID cuts. That's the next show. COVID cuts.
Stories.
COVID cuts.
Need to write a diary.
That's amazing. Nope, too bad. Patent pending. I already got it. It's on a sticky.
Yeah,
it's mine now. It's mine now. COVID cuts. Have you? So you did. You got a haircut, or you gave yourself a haircut?
I got a haircut. Let's just like how that happened. We don't need to talk about, but let's just say the good news is that it happened, and I'm grateful, and I don't have a massive sort of Brillo pad thing on the top of my hair.
Okay, and if it didn't go well, you've got to the end of the year to grow it back in. So
kinda exactly.
Emily, how have you been handling the hair issues?
A couple of weeks ago, I gave myself a 1-inch trim.
Okay.
Again, had to watch lots of YouTube videos to figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be nice to go back to the hairdresser.
Sure. I may just keep.
I'm pretty low maintenance, but
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's not like what was that movie, Dumb and Dumber, where you just put a bowl on your head and just snip around. Like that's low maintenance. But I would imagine with sort of shoulder length hair.
My kid didn't want anyone to cut his hair, so he gave himself some kind of haircut.
At least then he can only blame himself.
That's right.
Effort. Yeah, there you go.
And he's not going back to school, so he doesn't care.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna ride it out. I think this might be the new look.
As long as your kids aren't afraid of you one day because you look like some scary creature.
They love it. I actually, so Paul, we've known each other a while. Emily, you
Yeah.
probably have seen me over the years. This has been my sort of signature, my little soul patch.
Oh yeah.
I've had it since university. I shaved it off the first week of lockdown. So I'm like, I've had enough. I'm not gonna.
Wow.
I got rid of it, and I went upstairs, and my oldest daughter was like, "Where's your little beard?"
Oh.
I'm like, "What? Your little beard. Where did it go?" I'm like, I shaved it off. Well, when will it be back? It won't. It won't. I think I'm done. She's like, no, can you bring it back? And so it's
Here it
back.
is.
She's
Kids are
the,
funny.
the only person who's ever gotten me to order, begrudgingly, but order pineapple on a pizza because she wanted it. And I was so angry, but I did it because that's what you do, right? That's what you do. But they like the hair. They're like, keep growing it. Keep going. They like
Wow.
that they can play with it and put it in a little ponytail. And
Oh, I guess,
I'm going
yeah.
for the man bun, man. I'm going for the man bun.
You get a total dress up
Yeah.
thing that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being. But these are the things we have to worry about now.
Generations from now, what are they going to say about us?
Well, somebody told me at work that the Flowbee is making a comeback.
The what?
The Flowbee. So oh my God, the
What's a
Flowbee.
Flowbee?
The Flowbee was like, what did they, on Arrested Development, I think they called it the suck cut. First it sucks and then it cuts. Or maybe that was a different show. But it's basically like you put it on your hair, it sucks your hair up and cuts
Okay.
it.
That. Yeah.
And so that's making a comeback because necessity, right? Like,
Yeah.
I have to get a haircut. Well, guess I need a Flowbee. So
A weed whacker works just fine.
I'm just going with the trimmer on the sideburns because otherwise they get like mutton choppy.
Yeah.
And nobody needs to see that.
Yeah,
but,
I agree there.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. This has been a couple weeks. It's pretty bad. So that will happen, and then but this might be a thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So when do you expect? I know, Paul, you said it, you're not going back until next year at earliest.
Yeah, probably.
When do you guys see things getting back to, and I'll put it in quotes, normal? Because I don't think there's any going back, but there's got to be some return to normal. Emily, what do you think?
For us?
Just for the province, yeah. Let's go with
I would
Ontario.
say fall.
Fall, okay. Are conferences done, you think?
I don't know if they're going to be back for another, till a year from now.
Okay.
Depending what happens with the second wave. But I mean, what scares me is, okay, even if they manage to space people apart at a conference, you still have people all getting on planes from all over the world, going through airports.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control that kind of spread.
That's the thing that scares me.
The global travel, right?
Yeah. Like I'm almost relieved. So I've committed to a number of conferences that are still planning on being held. And I'm relieved when I get the, hey, we're postponing. Okay, no problem. I'll be there next year. No problem. Like, no problem. But I'm relieved because it's like I don't feel. I would be nervous traveling. Like I'm gonna be that guy in a full hazmat suit.
Too much uncertainty.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not me. Like I don't care about me. I care about bringing it back. That's the thing that scares me the most. And so, I know I can deal with it. Again, knock on wood. I don't want to give it to someone else that maybe can't. that terrible. Man, we're getting like really
deep.
I'm gonna
Paranoid?
get like I'm gonna like get emotional here. But
Oh,
like I can't do that. If that happened, I would feel so guilty. I would feel so
yeah.
guilty.
And I guess also all these organizations that normally thrive on big public gatherings, they don't want the liability.
Oh no.
Like I wouldn't want to be held accountable for people getting sick.
Right. Right. Well, especially some of these larger conferences, I think of like the PMI Global conference.
Mhm.
Paul, you've probably been to that and
Oh
seen,
yeah, many times.
right? Like
Yeah.
Emily, you've probably been to BBC. Like
Yep.
it's you can't have that.
Mhm.
You can't have that. And so I don't know. I didn't submit to speak at PMI, so I haven't been plugged into that, but I'm sort of watching what's going on with BBC and they haven't made that call yet. And so, that would be another one where it's like, hey, we didn't pick you this year. Great. Great. Like I've never been to Vegas. I was looking forward to that, but great. No
Until there's a
problem.
vaccine or a treatment or something, right?
Or something, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
even the non-medicinal, the non-medical masks, they're only going to help you so much.
Yeah.
Right. So, oh my
Sporting
gosh.
events, the Olympics, who
Oh
knows?
yeah. I went to one, the TFC, the Toronto Football Club home opener, and I'm so glad that I did because I think that was it for the year.
Probably. Yeah.
Right? And like, so I'm glad I went. I got to go. I went, hung out for the night with my brother-in-law. That was cool. I think that's it. And even if they do come back, I don't know if I'll be there, which sucks. But I can't do it. I can't do it.
It'll be gradual.
It'll have to be. It'll have to be. I mean, we're still at the point where, at least in Ontario, it's what gatherings of less than 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you? How about you, Paul?
A lot to get to. Like I spoke. My last conference was the giant Pacific dental conference.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, and they had 15,000 people there.
Wow.
And it was just
15,000.
Yep, that was just when things were happening, and I'll never forget getting the email saying, we've had some people come down with COVID, and everyone that was at the conference or spoke at the conference, you're now in quarantine.
Oh my God.
And so I started this in quarantine. And unfortunately, I mean, you said I wouldn't want to be that event that had something awful happen. Well, they had people die. And so, yeah, that is going to live with me for a long time. And how that felt to kind of go, whoa, this is real. And so I think the jury's out. I have no idea of what this will look like. I know human beings need and are, just crave to be together, to be part of something big, to be, that whole excitement and inspired by that whole gathering. I don't know. I want to say
that's a fine answer. I'm just
yeah. I want to say it'll be there, and I want to be optimistic. I just don't know what it will look like, how different it will be.
Yeah, it'll happen when we're ready, and I think that's actually a good approach as opposed to, being in a rush to reopen. And so I've said again, all of these things blend together, so I don't know where I said it, but I'll say it here just in case. I disagree with the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, on policy issues. But he has stepped up as a leader to do what is right. And so even he has said, like, nobody wants to open more than I do, but it's not safe. We can't. Like, it's not safe to do.
So true.
So, I think, we don't know because it'll just one day we'll see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we see the light. I think we're still
not at all.
And that's what scares me about traveling, especially, to the States, is I think they're opening up way too early, and I think there will be repercussions for that. But
It'll be it's nice to have some pilot projects that you get to watch from the sidelines.
yeah, I know, but we're literally dealing with life or death here.
Oh, it's awful.
Like,
Yeah.
But we
the-
can't control it.
no,
Like,
for sure.
they're not our decisions. And I'm married to an American, so I know how this situation is so precarious for a lot of people.
Right.
And I mean, all we can do is support everyone and just kind of go, please be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get swept up in the opening for opening's sake and find yourself in a terrible situation because of it. Just don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's a test of our patience. But we're coming out stronger for this. I think.
Yeah. The comedian Patton Oswalt put a tweet out several weeks ago, where he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close. Anne Frank stayed in an attic for 2 years. We are being asked to stay at home with Wi-Fi and Netflix. Like, we can do this for a couple months. We can do this, right? And again, bringing it back full circle to your first comment, Paul, it's about perspective.
Yeah.
So with that, then we are at the hour. Any last thoughts, things you want to say, or just where can people get at you? Emily, we'll start with you. Where's the best place for people that want to hear more about what you have to say? Where can they get you?
I can be reached on LinkedIn, and Twitter. My final thoughts about this is this has been a great opportunity for us to connect. I don't know the two of you too well, but it's been really good to connect. And I find, people in our domain, we're really welcoming of newcomers. So thank you very much.
You got it. Anytime. Paul?
Yeah, well, kind of the same. I am certainly on LinkedIn, but I actually has just launched a new website just before COVID hit, and it's called pushingpastimpossible.com.
Oh,
so you can see the new me there, and everything I do, and the books that I've written, and all that crap. And I'll be honest, if one of my things about COVID is I've launched a video series called Pushing Past the Pandemic. And the very first one was about helping everyone else, because you help yourself by doing that. And a shout out to anyone. If anyone wants to learn about how to deal with really hard people and bad behavior at work during this time, send me an email on LinkedIn. I will send you a copy of my book, The Workplace Bullying Handbook, free of charge, as my helping the world get ready for whatever's coming in the new world. And I think we all can help each other in ways we never imagined. And today's an example. You're helping people by creating a podcast that's like totally cool. Yeah. So thank you for including me, and Emily, you rock. And I can't wait to see you someday in a conference in Ottawa.
Yeah.
February 21, right?
Yep, that's the first
there we
day.
go.
That is awesome. And Paul, I have been passing your book around at work. Not that I don't want to get you sales, but
it's not about sales.
No, I know. It's about impact, right? And so I've been passing it around, and people, it's really resonated with people differently, because we start to see, and it's not about labels, but you start to see, like, man, I was that person is a bully, and you and I,
or just disrespectful,
right, and you and I, when we met up in Chicago, I said to you, I came right up to you and I said, like, I realized that I've been enabling a bully for the last year, and I felt terrible. And you're like, but now and now you can do something about it. So that was really helpful. So
cool.
I want to thank both of you again. This is awesome. You don't have to leave right yet, but we're going to end the broadcast. So don't feel you need to rush off. But I want to thank you again, Paul, Emily, for being on Analysts After Work. And we will not have an episode next week on the regular Thursday, because we've got a special announcement coming out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be super, super fun. So thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.
Stay well, everyone.
Cheers.